I just started, right? You may not be able to record now, but you should be able to see the button if you can.
Yeah, I don't think I can actually.
Okay. Yeah, we need to figure out if we want more people to run this. Oh, Daniel is able to. That's good. I don't know why. All right, folks, I guess we should go ahead and get started with the Agent Gateway community meeting today. Do we have any new contributors we want to call out? Actually, I was looking at the stats yesterday. I think we have a lot of contributors on the LFX Insights, but I don't know how to figure out the new ones.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just go through the recently merged PRs, and if I don't recognize a username, I just add it.
See if I can share my screen. All right, it'll work. All right, so is there any new contributors we want to call out? Okay, I'm not hearing anything. Let's moving on to new features to call out since last week. I saw last week we had a lot of discussions. Any particular new feature that we should be discussing? Oh, thanks, to find another contributor.
I would say it's not a feature, but well, never mind. Actually, we can talk about it in the next one.
Oh, okay. By the way, John, I was looking at the Agent Gateway performance report. The version 2 is still the latest, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
And that was Agent Gateway as part of K Gateway. Is that correct?
Back then, it was part of K Gateway control plan. Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious, do you imagine the number would be much different when Agent has its own?
I mean, it should be basically the same.
Okay. Okay, so it's probably not going to make much difference if we actually do another version 3.
Yeah, if we just reran the same test, I wouldn't expect any difference. I am working on a version 3, but it's a new set of tests. Okay.
I have another question. Maybe I'll wait until the end, until the open discussion topic on the performance number. So does anybody else have any new feature to call out? I think, John, you want to wait until the next section.
I think the recent stuff that's been merged, there's been, from Keith, we got basically full compatibility, well, not full, but like very high compatibility with Envoy XProc, which allows most notably semantic router to work from the VLM project. So that's cool. I've seen a few people asking about that. And you can also do things like just only handle the request headers, so you don't have to get the full body and response headers and stuff if you don't need them, which is good. The other thing that has landed is caching for XDOF, which is something that I think is pretty exciting. You can cache based on basically arbitrary keys, and then also set the expiration date based on the response. So I set up a demo, for example, that I was taking one token and exchanging it for another token, and then I would key based on the incoming token, and I would set the expiration to be based on the token that the auth server returned to me. So if it gave me a token that was good for 10 seconds, I'd keep it cached for 10 seconds, but it gave me one for an hour, I'd keep it for an hour, which obviously makes the performance like dramatically better. So I think that's pretty nice. I think those are the main big changes that landed last week, but there's a lot of good stuff in progress. The big thing I would say is the new Ext MCP auth work that Steven's doing. That's pretty close, I think, to merging. And there's just been a lot of bug fixes and improvements and whatnot.
John, is the A to A backend, is that newer or
That's new. Yeah, I don't think it's technically in the last 7 days. So I was looking at the Git logs, so it's probably before then. But yeah, that's also been added. We added support for actually Okta as an MCP provider as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I opened a doc issue for the 8A backend, so need to update the docs for it.
So is it correct that the caching for external auth, that's not for MCP? Because you also mentioned external auth for MCP is being worked on by Stephen.
It's separate feature. It's for the HTTP external auth. We could potentially also add it into the XMCP perhaps, but I wouldn't start there.
Okay, got it. I just want to make sure I clarify that. Now, the Envoy X prog, did you say we already have a blog on the semantic router? I didn't capture that.
I don't know, Keith. That's a you question, I think. Was someone working on a blog or something?
Is that something we should do a blog? I'm just thinking loud here.
We definitely should. It's only question for me is the timing. It's not released yet, so I don't know if we want to wait for the release of the feature to do the blog. We can definitely be working on it.
Okay, sounds good. Did you say you want to work on it or?
I can.
No.
I can.
I just want to make sure because I can't see you as I'm sharing screen. I feel stupid to share the same screen as the.
No worries. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's working on it right now, but
okay.
We definitely can. Yeah, the site's down, which is kind of interesting. The project still exists, but no. Yeah, we should definitely do a blog. Happy to contribute however I can.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I can see if other people are interested, but I do think it's a catching feature. That sounds good. Any other thing we should mention in the new feature, or should we move to the next release? I guess which is coming in 3 weeks.
I do think we might want to have something on X.C caching. Is it only HTTP, John?
No, it's only gRPC.
Okay. That's okay. That's what I would expect. But I think that's a pretty differentiating feature for the project. I mean, other projects that implement X.Z have open issues for long to cache, and there are some pretty, like we said, John, pretty large performance benefits to doing it. So that might be a really good thing to get the word out about.
I mean, should we track this now that we have a milestone? It may not land in 1.3, but maybe potentially next one.
Track the blog or
The one you just mentioned about the caching for the external auth for MCP, I think.
Oh, the caching for external auth is already done. The MCP aware XAuth is still in progress and is expected to land in 1.3. I was saying we should, if similar to doing a blog for XProc and semantic routing, I think we should also probably do a blog for caching gRPC X.C.
Got it. Yeah. So the caching, it's already been done for HTTP and gRPC, as the notes is saying. I thought it was only HTTP earlier.
It's just gRPC. Or gRPC only.
gRPC only. Okay. Yeah, I agree. It's a pretty cool feature, but I don't think we have much app on gRPC at the moment for the demo app.
No, it's not related to what your app is doing. It's related to the XDOF protocol, so you can use it with anything, LLMs, MCP, whatever.
Oh, thanks. That's what I was confused. Okay. Got it. All right. For the next 1.3 milestones, is this pretty accurate, or are there more things that we plan to add?
It's covering the broad strokes at least. I guarantee you there will be a lot of things and not tracked here that will be merged between now and 3 weeks, but
And this is not a small list either. Any big heads up you want to mention, or anybody wants to mention that's not in here? All right, should we jump into open discussion topics? Our favorite topic, the last one. So
yeah, I just wanted to mention on open discussion, there's a few conferences coming up that are all closing their call for proposals soon. There's probably more, but I'm biased towards the ones that I want to travel to, so I block out the other ones. But there's KubeCon in Salt Lake City in November. That one closes, I think, this weekend. Technically, we're not a CNCF. Opportunities to talk about adjacent things. Then there's the MCP Con. I think it's like in San Jose in October. That CFP closes also this weekend. And then
this weekend, I thought it was June 6th or June 7th.
Yes, you're right.
I would check on that.
I was thinking of a different one. The next one I was thinking of is this AI Engineers World Fair. I've never heard of this one until recently, but apparently it's a big deal. It's in San Francisco in July, and the CFP ends this weekend. That's the one I mixed up, Lynn. So all these I think are pretty interesting. If you have talks that you want to talk about, I would encourage you to do so. I'm grinding away on submitting them. I hate writing proposals, but yeah, that's all.
Yeah, good shout out on this. I added Europe here too, because we do want to submit to Europe if we could. That's not as big as US, but probably big enough. If anybody can get a talk in, that would be great. Oh, one thing I want to mention for in addition to conferences, I was looking at your benchmark V2. So what I wanted to ask is, in the V2, and let me bring that up. Do you remember that you talk about, at one point, you talk about like the latency, we're 100x faster than compared with some of the other proxies? But I was not able to kind of find out, I was not able to find out anything related to that.
Yeah, so there's a few different, I would say there's 3 different sets of tests that have broadly been done. There's this one, which is comparing just general HTTP traffic. And, we're obviously not 100 times faster than Envoy HTTP traffic. That would be probably violating some speed of light laws or something. But we've also compared to other AI-specific gateways like Light LLM. And there we do see, I don't know, remember the exact number. I think depending on the metric, could be in the range of 100 to 300 times better. And also compared to things like Envoy AI Gateway, which I think is where you're probably remembering the 100x number from.
Yes.
But none of that is in this one, because this is all about gateway, API, general HTTP stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that clarification. But for the Envoy AI Gateway or the Light LLM, I assume maybe there was no public data around that other than in your KubeCon talk.
There has been plenty of things talking about them, but I've never posted like a GitHub repo with reproduction steps and things like that.
Okay, yeah, that was my question. I was curious if you have any. Thanks. Oh, I have another question on the Agent Gateway UI. Is the UI pretty much updated? Because I remember I haven't tried the UI for a while, but I remember last time when I used the UI, I think a lot of people mentioned to me it was not being maintained. Is that still the same situation?
Yeah, so we've been working on a refresh of the UI, but it's still in progress. There's an open PR, but there's some action items to address before it's mergeable. Yeah, the main intent there, aside from just general like fixing a bunch of bugs that we've had for a while that just haven't been maintained, is making it more LLM and MCP centric.
Got it. All right, that makes sense. Does anybody else have any open topics? Let me check the chats.
Yeah, I have something if no one else wants to go.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was thinking about adding basically kind of what Istio's zTunnel has, which is where you can I think the default crypto provider is AWS LC. And basically it would be similar to that where you can plug in the crypto provider. So it would be OpenSSL as like an option. I already kind of have this building as like a patch. So I was just wondering what people thought about adding something like that.
I am not generally against the idea, but
Okay.
it's more complicated than zTunnel because zTunnel only really uses it in one spot for the TLS provider. But we have like Cipher Suite Selection, which then is hard coding AWS. We have we do use the same crate for like non-TLS things, like we do some crypto outside of it for like Jot and doing digests and things like that.
Mhm.
So depending on all these details, it may be, oh, and there's also some crates that are just hard coded in like the feature flags of like using it. That's not in our code. So I'm not against it. I'm just calling out it might be harder, and I don't know if
Okay.
that's even necessary. It could be the case that we only need it for TLS, and then maybe it's slightly easier in some other things. Don't use whatever the other one is. What is the other one that you're concretely trying to use?
Just the OpenSSL crypto
Okay.
provider. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at it and see how much of a undertaking it is.
All right. Any other questions? Or open topics? Okay, I'm not hearing anything. Happy to give you a few minutes back. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Lynn.
Thanks, folks.